For the third time, I am headed to go take my driver's written test. Hello everybody, I hope you guys are doing good today. The past two times that I've gone up to try and take my test, both times I ran into some issues, and both of them were just talking about how I just didn't have the right forms. This time, however, I was able to get the right forms and everything should be in order. However, right before I left the house, I did notice one small error, and I don't know if this will affect me being able to take the test. I was able to make an appointment for today, and when I was looking at the paper that was telling me about my appointment, I noticed that the last name that they have written for the appointment is Stuckey, not Stuckey. I just stepped on a leaf. So I don't know if that's going to impact how or if I'll be able to take my test today, because I show up there and yell like, hey, my appointment for Julian Stuckey. They could be like, oh, I'm sorry, we have an appointment for Julian Stuckey. Do you know how many times people have gotten my last name wrong? I don't freaking know how. I've heard Stuckey, I've heard Stuckey, I've heard Stuckey, and a whole bunch of others that I can't even think of at the moment. So you know what? I don't even know if I'll be able to take the test today. I don't know. I mean, shoot, like even if I'm able to take the test today, I'm not entirely sure if I'll be able to pass the test today. So I guess whatever happens, happens today. So I'm just gonna show up there, do what I can, and I guess just let you know how it goes. Okay, so I just came back from the DMV, and something unexpected happened. Due to that unexpected thing, I am feeling a very strong contrast of emotions right now. To put it simply, as far as the DMV trip, I showed up there, and I was finally able to take the test. I had all the right everything. I paid the application fee and I went in and I took my written test. And I failed. And that is the first half of the contrast, because I'll just go into this just for a second. It's like it took me like 2 tries already just to be able to take the test, and now on the 3rd try, when I'm finally able to take the test, I failed the test, and it makes me feel a bit bad for a specific reason. Mainly because, you know, while I was doing all the studying and whatnot, I kept on seeing a lot of things, and, you know, just people saying that, oh, the test is easy, oh, you know, it's just common sense. And then I actually go and take the test, and then I fail what is supposed to be a common sense, easy test. It's kind of like that, like when I left out of the building, I was like, son, so what does that make me? Does that make me, like, not smart or something? First off, there's a good portion of that test that is not common sense. There's a lot of stuff that has very specific information. I knew some of it. I think it was thanks to the little app thing that I have on my phone, but there was just other stuff that I had never seen before. So I guess that means, you know, sometime this week, like when I had asked, you know, how does this work, I think can show up just any day of the week that they're open and then retake it. So I guess we'll just have to pick a day as to when we do that. So that was the first thing, and I have to say that did make me feel kind of down. I don't know, cause like I said, I guess I just really just wanted to pass. Like, I don't know, something about that. It's like I really wanted to take the test, which I'm happy that I was finally able to do, but now I just want to pass it. So when I left the place and, you know, I'm heading home, I'm in a salty mood, you know, I'm brooding a little bit, you know, I'm just like, I just did all of this. This is like my 3rd time coming up here. Yeah, 3rd time coming up here, and, you know, and I still haven't passed the test yet. As I'm coming home, then a second thing happens. And this is the other half of the spectrum of contrast emotions that I'm feeling. As I am walking home on the sidewalk, like right outside the house, right, you know, walking on the sidewalk, I get a phone call. And it is the person who interviewed me back at that interview that I went to on Saturday. Ladies and gentlemen, I got the job! I did it! 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 At first I was scared when I got the phone call because when he was talking, for a second I thought he was going to say, hey Julian, you know, just want to let you know, we kind of found somebody else, and you know, we thank you for applying, and you know, all that other stuff, and I was going to be like, oh man. But then, you know, he had said, you know, talked it over with some people, and we'd love to have you, you make a great fit. I was like, oh my God, are you serious? The funny part was that since I was absorbed in the phone call, I'm still physically walking down the sidewalk, and I was around my area, you know, to go to my house, and then when I got off the phone, I had my key out, I was ready to go into the door. When I got off the phone, I realized I was actually standing in front of somebody else's house. And I was like, oh snap! And I actually had a good portion of the conversation like on the front door. Like, I hope I didn't like spook anybody. I just walked away so embarrassed, but still so happy. So that is like the weird mix of emotions that I'm feeling right now. On one hand, I am ultra happy, super happy. Like, oh my freaking goodness! Like, I'm sorry. Like, it's like 2.5 months, 2 months, I don't know, 2 to 2.5 months it took me to finally get to where I am now. Then on another part is what I told you before, how I'm still kind of a little sad that, you know, I didn't pass the written test, but it was funny because I told this to both my mom and my aunt, and the thing is, I know they're right, but they're just like, that doesn't matter, just take it again, you know, like this is way bigger than all of that, you know? But then there's actually another part of me where, because it's like, I'm almost 100% sure that you have felt this at one point or another, when you are going after for something for so long, with so much power and passion and dedication to it, and then you finally get it. It's almost like, I don't know, it's hard to describe. It's like, I don't know, it's weird. It's dang it, give me a second, I'm gonna articulate this. The best way that I could describe it is just like you were just after for something for a very long time, and then you finally do it, you finally get it, you achieve it, and it's like, you would think that you would feel explosively happy when you do it, but it's like, you start feeling other things, like I said, a piece of me, this is gonna sound a bit funny, but a piece of me actually feels slightly frustrated at myself. Not I'm sorry, my brain is going in like 10 different directions right now. What it is because, remember how in the very, very beginning, I started looking at escape rooms, but I stopped very, very early on because I wanted to just try to go straight for a television job, and that was actually a massive portion of my time here. I think I was doing that for like a month and a half straight. And then after that wasn't really, after when I learned more and I realized, you know, that's not really going to happen, that's when I tried to look into social media jobs, and that was kind of going a bit slow. So then, after all of this, a thought came to mind, and I was like, well, dang it, if I just stuck with the escape room job thing, I probably could have done this in just like a few weeks, you know, like I could have been like I could have done a lot, you know, very, very quickly. But it's like, you know, I feel like that's, I don't know, it's kind of like it's all in hindsight now. It's kind of like now that I am in the position that I am in, now it's kind of like I look behind myself and I'm just like, what? This is everything that I did to get here? Like, I'm not complaining, but you get what I mean. So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna forget all of that. Okay? I worked too hard to get to this point, and I am not going to let a failed written test and other meaningless things get in the way of that. I'm going to keep telling myself that this is I know this is a good thing, but I'm going to feel it. I'm going to let it sink in. I freaking earned this. And the same goes for you, okay? Because like I said, I am sure you've been in that situation where, like I said earlier, you're trying to get something and then you get it, but then you don't really know how to feel. So, like, just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. Just celebrate it. Pat yourself on the back. Double pat yourself on the back. And just know that you did it. Okay? It's weird. I don't know. Like I said, it's just like any lingering doubts or fears or any other thing that's just in my head. It's just trying to like sprout up its voice. And I'm just like, no, sit down. You know, like, just tell it to sit down. So training actually starts tomorrow. I'll have to see how I'll be able to vlog. I more than likely will not vlog inside the location, because, you know, like, first, that was what I had to do at my previous escape room. It's kind of like, first I had to figure out, you know, is it okay for me to film? You know, who wants to be, you know, on camera? And of course, you know, I need to get to know people, you know, like, so more than likely a large portion of my daily vlogs will just be dedicated to other things. So I can say that out of the 2 things that I needed when I came out here, a job and a place to stay, the job, oh, I don't want to flip the finger, the job, it's done, it is done, I can say that with pride and power, it is done. So now our next goal is to find a place to stay, because this is how I wanted to do it before, because I was trying to figure out, well, do I want to try to find a place to stay first and then a job, or do I want to find a job first and then a place to stay? And I opted to find the job first because I feel like it's a lot easier to find a place to stay when you have a job. You know, you can let your roommate or landlord or whoever you're staying with know, hey, I have a job, you know, basically, you know, the proof of income, but yeah, so that is basically what we're going to start doing now. So from my understanding, for the next several days, probably up until the weekend, that is going to be me training at this job. So more than likely my vlogs may be before I go and after I come back, or I may try to do like, I'm sorry, but now my brain is starting to slow down. I may try to look for places probably like before I go to work, or a day where I don't have work, so that way, you know, we can like make this go ASAP. I'm gonna be honest, I'm still in a stupor. it's like that. I think that was another thing where it's kind of like you realize it's like it doesn't quite feel real until a little later. Like I still feel like a little bit weird, but yeah, so like I thought this vlog was just gonna be about me to go into the DMV for the 3rd, 4th time. I can't remember. I think it's the 3rd time, and I did not expect this to be, you know, happening today. But hey, that's life. I guess that happens sometimes. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know when my videos are going up. And be sure to show your support by donating in the links below. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you in the next one. See ya.